Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for tuning in today. I'm Julia Poulston. I'm the manager of talent development with ICI. And today I have the pleasure of meeting with Matt Haehl. He's the president at Shelby Materials. Thanks so much for joining me today, Matt.
Oh, glad to do it. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, so if you just want to go ahead and get started, tell people more about your position, how long you've been there, and then we can get into more about Shelby Materials.
Sure. Well, Matt Haehl, president Shelby Materials. Been here full time for about 20 and a half years. Worked throughout college and high school here as well. It's a family business, so I've been kind of involved in it my whole life.
No, that's what I love to hear. And that's a good thing about the highway industry is there's a lot of family generation companies. Go ahead and get into the weeds a little bit. Tell us all about Shelby Materials, what you guys do, what you specialize in. And if you want to tell a little bit about the history of the company, you can do that.
Sure. Okay. Well, Shelby Materials is a ready-mix concrete aggregate supplier located in central Indiana, throughout south central Indiana. We have 10 concrete locations and two sand and gravel pits. We supply concrete and aggregates for, residential, commercial, infrastructure, state, city jobs. It was founded in 1951 by my grandfather and his brother-in-law. And then I am third generation. My father and his brothers work in it. My dad since retired, and one of my uncles retired, one is still involved. And then my brother Aaron is our CFO, and my cousin Parker is our vice president, and he manages our southern plants, Columbus, Seymour, Nashville area.
You guys are just in the state of Indiana. You're not outside of the state of Indiana.
Correct. Yeah, we have a location kind of surrounding in Indianapolis, and then Shelbyville, Rushville, and kind of down the 65 corridor. Seymour is as far south as we are.
Okay, cool. So as president of Shelby Materials, I know that title can be different depending on what company you work for. So at Shelby Materials, what does president mean? Like, what exactly does your whole position entail?
Oh, not crazy about titles. I think it's just something you got to put on a card, I guess, and do it. But here, I'm still very involved in daily operations. I talk with our managers, directors, sales staff on day-to-day operations, making sure we're taking care of customers and our employees are being taken care of. Some aspects, some areas I still involved in pricing. I still review specs and plans and get involved in that type of stuff. And then work with the board on other items, more probably management related, future planning, whether it be short term or long term. Mm-hmm. Just sometimes it's kind of what comes down the pipe that day, and then some of it is planning for the long term.
Yeah, that's good. It's good that your day to day isn't the same old, because that could, get boring after a while.
Oh, right.
It's good that you get, your hands in a little bit of everything and still are involved in day to day operations. I'm sure everybody appreciates the head guy still, being involved in things.
I enjoy it. I want to be involved.
And that's good that you enjoy it too. So
I want to go out there and see what's going on.
So I know you mentioned, third generation at Shelby Materials. So you've kind of been around it your full life. Just because your family's involved doesn't necessarily mean that you had to be a part of it. Mm-hmm. So was there ever a time when you were younger that you can think of that, looking into your future, what you wanted to do in college and everything, you just thought, man, I want to work with the family business. I want to make a career at Shelby Materials like my grandfather and my father did.
It's what I always wanted to do. I really didn't have anything else. Once I realized I wasn't going to become a professional NBA or MLB baseball player, something like that. But as a young kid, I just enjoyed coming out here, even just running down the sand piles and letting the guys throw me in the trucks and hang around with them. And then as I, got older and get involved in all aspects of it, I just enjoyed being around the equipment, the projects. My dad used to take me by and tell me what he did, and I always thought that's kind of cool that you're a part of those type of things.
So now in your adult life as president of Shelby Materials, can you think of anything that would be your favorite part of your job working in highway construction?
Well, I think probably my favorite part is just the people you get to work with on a daily basis. Mm-hmm. And that's customers and coworkers. We have a great group of employees here who care about doing a good job, who want the company to do well and really wear it on their sleeve. And it's really enjoyable to be around them, working on projects and see the pride they take in it. And lots of customers, loyal customers who help us grow into the company we are. longtime customers who've been with us since we started, and we add more every year. And I think that's just been the neat part. Got a lot of friends,
Mhm.
peers, and that's probably the most enjoyable part about working.
No, I love that. And it makes, it makes work fun when you like the people you work with and the people,
Well,
which is good. Can you tell us more a little bit about your career journey, kind of, what you went to school for, where you started, and how you got into the position that you are now?
well, I started in high school working here, running loaders and shoveling under plants and working at the ag mines. And as I got old enough to get my CDL, I've driven mixers and dump trucks, and then went to Purdue for business management, which is kind of had to. Our family, a lot of Purdue grads in our family, so it wasn't really much of a choice there. Studied business, and then once I graduated from there, I've done some dispatch and sales, and kind of worked my way up into management. I think it was good to do every role. It's kind of get the appreciation, respect for everything that's involved in the job people do, and gives you a good, good perspective on how things operate.
Mhm. No, that's great that you actually had the opportunity to work out in the field and work your way up. That's something whenever I'm talking to students about career opportunities in the highway industry, you're not just picking a job just to have, you're choosing a career path. And in highway construction, you start low and you can work your way up over years. So I'm glad that you've had your hands pretty much in
Well,
every
absolutely.
materials.
I think that's the way, it's a way. It's really been very good because you just learn every part of the job. I mean, if you work hard, no matter what position, there's always a chance to go up and learn more. And I think it's great to get the perspective of every position available.
But what would you say is the most rewarding part about your job with Shelby Materials and just working in this industry as a whole?
I think the most rewarding thing is being a part of projects. I think every job presents different challenges, but to be able to say, we helped build that bridge to connect that place, or we helped build that street in Shelbyville's been there for 40 years, that we did it. You're helping the improvements of the state and cities and towns you're a part of. And I just think that's probably the most rewarding thing is we help that. Our concrete is on that road. We're driving on our concrete now. I think that's something that's pretty rewarding.
Yeah, definitely. And you get to help improve the community that you live in, which is
Absolutely.
looking at your position as president at Shelby Materials. What would you say is the number one skill set that you need to succeed in your role?
There's probably not a number one because there's a lot that you need to have. And I would say with this role, probably kind of multitasking is a pretty important to be able to manage different situations as they come up and prioritize and be able to sit back and view, weigh the importance of which one and go on down the road. I think sometimes days a lot of stuff comes your way and you can't just be reactive. You got to be able to sit back, take all viewpoints, and make the best decision for the customer, company, employee. And part of that too, I think it kind of goes into trusting people in their positions. We have a lot of great people that work for us, and I couldn't micromanage. I can't worry about everybody doing their job all the time. So we trust that people are in the positions they're in to be successful and make right decisions for the company and customers. And we've got a great group that does that. So I think trusting, multitasking, probably pretty important ones.
Looking back when you were younger, what advice would you have given your younger self that you think would have helped you succeed in your current role today?
I would probably say maybe I should have asked more questions. I was kind of a put my head down and get my job done and go do it type of person. And I think I should have asked more questions on coworkers, peers, customers, just to get a different perspective on how people handle different situations or why they did this or why they did that. I think that would have made me better at my job now, having different viewpoints on how other people handle problem comes up or an employee situation or something like that.
If you happen to be in front of a group of high school students talking about your career path and just the highway construction, what advice would you tell them?
I think anybody that considers a career in the construction industry is making a very good choice. One, you're outside a lot. You're not stuck inside, an office most of the time or wherever. So you're always out doing things. And I think that, if you like challenges, this is a career for you because every job is different. You're not doing the same thing over and over and over again. Every job has a different problem, a different solution, And it's good to collaborate and try and work those out for everybody so it becomes a successful project. If you like being hands-on, if you like being outdoors, if you like, really jumping into things, I think this is a great industry. And it's going to be there for a long, it's always going to be a need.
Yep.
It's not going away. So, I mean,
Yep.
you're part of improving, as we talked earlier, part of improving your community and making things better.
Well, this was great. I appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule. So I know you guys are staying busy. I'm seeing the Shelby Materials trucks. I think I see at least 2 past my house every day.
Good.
So I see you guys everywhere. So anyone that watches this video, especially kids, I hope that they're encouraged by your career path and hopefully they'll choose a career path in the highway industry.
Well, thank you for asking me, Julia. This has been a great conversation. And hey, let's hope you see more trucks come by.